So, in the far future of 2020, the world went to absolute shit, and mega corporations and private companies own nearly everything. Actually, not that far from today if you think about it.
Anyway.
Life is hard for the normal person. They live in cramped apartments, making about $300 each week, and
you wanted cash? There's a fee. You want a check instead?
any sign of rebellion is immediately put down. But fret not, dear viewer. In order to calm the masses and help them relax after a hard day's work, the private corporations also came up with the most insane and pure form of entertainment.
Death, 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 death.
The Romans had gladiators in colosseums, and our dystopian futures have
Death race.
a series where inmates are allowed to compete in extreme life-threatening races for their freedom. It's simple really. Win 5 races and you go free, no matter the severity of your prior crime. Easy enough, except every vehicle is armed to the gills with all manner of weaponry, from machine guns and missiles for offense to smoke screens, oil and napalm for defense. That's where the death part of the death race comes in. As the private corporations also own the entire prison system, they can actually legally nullify any crime that occurs on the racetrack, thus incentivizing the inmates to go absolutely hog wild on each other.
Yikes.
I know, the concept is insane, but hey, it was 2008, okay? Fast cars and beautiful women are what defined Hollywood at the time. This movie is just the embodiment of that logic brought to life. Think Fast and Furious, except on crack cocaine, meth, and a fucking bomb of this. Oh yeah, let's talk about the plot. Spoilers, obviously. The movie follows Jason Statham as he comes home from work ready to bang his beautiful wife, only to then be cockblocked by his child, his then friend from murdering said wife. I'm sorry, but these two scenes happen within minutes of each other, and the tonal whiplash is absolutely hilarious. So he's sent to Terminal Island Prison, and immediately the prisoners do the prisoner cliche thing of trying to intimidate the new fish, but he quickly fucks them up. I mean, what were they thinking? He was an industrial worker, which obviously means he knows mixed martial arts and is a borderline professional race car driver. Also, this guy right here, his name is Pancheco. Stupid name. Also, he's the guy that killed Jason's wife. But don't worry, we'll get back to him later. The prison fight leads to him being sent to the warden's office, where she makes him an offer. You see, within the death race law, there's one man who reigns supreme. Frankenstein. He's the only person to ever win 4 out of the 5 required races.
A man so disfigured by crashes that he's forced to wear a mask. His return to the track is highly anticipated.
Unfortunately, he didn't survive his latest race, and since he's so popular with the public, it would cause an absolute uproar if they didn't at least see him win his last race. So she wants Statham to take his place. A sweet deal if you think about it. He only needs to win 1 and not all the 5 required races to go free. But he turns it down. Like any normal person would. I know it might look easy, but it's still the fucking death race. Being a newbie is basically a death sentence.
Fuck me.
But Halsey is smart. She uses the oldest trick in the book.
10 seconds from now, I will retract this offer and extend it to prisoner 68815, James Francis Barlini.
FOMO. She literally uses FOMO. He's quickly paired up with a pit crew consisting of gunner, lists, and coach. Also Casey, a hot companion to manage his weapons as he drives. And you know she's hot because she gets a slow-mo shot and everything. Apparently she used to be Frankenstein's previous partner. And so he's off. This is where we're introduced to Machine Gun Joe, played by Tyrese motherfucking Gibson. He's won 3 of the required 5 races, and this guy only has one character. That's having the largest hit boner for Frankenstein because of reason. He's also the only racer to get male companions. Apparently, his companions always die in races, but he's always completely fine to a comedic extent. I expected there to be a reveal that the warden was secretly messing with the defenses in the passenger seat of his vehicle, so as to keep up the deaths as some sort of running gag like they do on TV shows, but nope, he's just that comedically lucky. Yes, Tyrese Gibson has done the no damage joke in action racing movies 2 times. Not a lot, but I swear that it happened twice. So the races begin and are immediately streamed online, and that's where we are shown the true popularity of the death race. It averages about 45 million viewers each day, and it costs about $99 for each daily subscription. So death race earns them a cool 3.9 billion, yes, with a B, every stream. That's ludicrous. As the races continue, Statham is getting the shit shot out of his car, and that's when he realizes something.
It's jammed.
His weapons suspiciously stop working, requiring his companion to risk her life in the rainstorm of bullets to unjam it. He has to sacrifice his napalm tongue to barbecue the other racer. Also, in the middle of the mayhem, Pacheco, for some reason, decides to pull his signature gesture on Statham. The same gesture he pulled on him when he murdered his fucking wife. How stupid can one guy be? What? He thought he wouldn't recognize it? Why would he do this? Seriously. It was supposed to be a secret, but since Statham set foot in jail, this guy just won't get out of his face. In between the malfunctioning weapons, the warden basically begging him to race, and his wife's killer being in the same prison as him, he starts suspecting foul play. So he confronts the warden about it.
That's the man she'll grow up calling Daddy. You're a smart man, Mr. Ames. Play my game, we both go home happy.
Yes, this woman keeps a loaded shotgun to the balls of every prisoner she talks to. Holy shit, that's metal. Anyway, since she basically tells him to fuck off, he goes to Pacheco for answers. And after normal male bonding session, he comes clean. Apparently, Hennessy specifically targeted Statham to be the next Frankenstein, hiring Pacheco to kill his wife and frame him for the murder. Why did she specifically target this lowly industrial worker to be what is essentially their death race mascot? She just did. So, stage 2 of the death race begins. But Statham is still apprehensive and seeking answers. He starts by interrogating his companion, with mild threats of death and violence if she lies to him.
Remember what happened to that napalm canister? You're a real shame for that to happen to you.
I didn't kill him. He wouldn't quit. I just wanted to make sure he didn't win.
Why would Hennessy want that?
To keep Frank here. Racing.
I seriously don't know how Statham hasn't pieced it together yet. Frankenstein is to them what Mickey Mouse is to Disney. Him simply being in a race, even without winning, still earns them that cool $3.9 billion each day for the 3 days that the death race is held. They were never just going to let him win and just leave. They only needed him to
Just make it exciting.
And once they were done with him, they just trap another poor sucker with the same promise of freedom, because Frankenstein isn't really a man.
Frankenstein can't die. After all, he's just a mask.
They never even explain whether Frankenstein was ever real or if he ever existed, or it was just a made-up concept for the viewers to identify with and root for, with the mask passing from one poor sucker to the next. They leave it completely to the viewer or the audience to figure it out for themselves. Anyway, with this new information, Statham decides to do what he can for now, survive this race, and more importantly, get fucking revenge for his wife, culminating the most insane car set piece ever put to screen. Yes, you are seeing this right. Two cars are having a machine gun standoff, with one driving in fucking reverse. Someone get Martin Scorsese in here. This is fucking cinema.
She's next.
I love how movies in the mid-2000s tried to make kids believe you could snap a neck by just tilting it slightly and forcefully. Statham has to work with Tyrese to beat this racist gimmick, the Dreadnought, a mass-murdering tank armory on wheels. This is where Tyrese pieces out that Statham is Frankenstein.
Nice reflexes there, Igor. Race car reflexes.
That's dumb.
And they become best friends.
Just like that?
Just like that, his hit boner vanishes into the wind. The movie continues to the third and final race, the one to determine who will go free. It's Frankenstein versus Machine Gun Joe. Yeah, the final race is kind of a hoax, and they both take the opportunity to stage an insane prisoner escape, since the warden is a fucking idiot and already signed both the release papers for them in case one of them won. The movie ends with our main characters enjoying life in Hawaii. So that was the movie. Now let's talk about the good and the bad parts. The good, the freaking practical effects. One of the many benefits of being made in 2006 is that CGI wasn't as prevalent back then. So there was very little green screen involved. And holy shit that this movie benefit from the practical effects. I've watched so many Marvel and DC movies, I'd forgotten how beautiful an actual explosion or car crash is to watch on screen. Second, the way the warden Hennessy dies is fucking hilarious.
Fuck with me, and we'll see who shits on the sidewalk.
Are you sure about that?
The bad. Most of the characters are extremely shallow. They never go past their base concepts. Okay. For example, Jason Statham, main character, loves daughter. That's it. Machine Gun Joe, hates Frankenstein. Religious. That's it. Casey, hot driving companion. Lists. Smart. The only ones with some layers are Coach and the Warden Hennessy. But that's a problem since they aren't really main characters. Also, the writing for this movie is kinda shit. Anyway, that was Death Race. Insanity Incarnate. An extremely underrated movie that was definitely a product of the time. A good romp that definitely didn't deserve any further analysis and just works for what it is. A single installment. Yeah, they made like 5 more of this. Jesus fucking Christ.